Graham's study. Rudy followed her inside the high-ceilinged, book-lined chamber and closed the door. Clamping down on a thread of worry, she turned to face him. "So, what has happened to upset you so badly?" Rudy took a breath, working to calm himself.
"This morning the police came to see me."
"What?"
"A constable named Bertram. He's the lead investigator on the Covent Garden murders."
"What on earth did Constable Bertram want with you?" As if his legs would no longer hold him up, Rudy sank down in one of the wooden chairs opposite the professor's battered oak desk, leaving Lindsey standing.
"He wanted to ask me some questions about this latest murder. About both murders, in fact."
"The police thought you might have information on the murders?"
"Not just information. They, seemed to think I might be involved in some way."
The words chilled her. None of this made any sense. In what way could you possibly be involved in a murder? Rudy looked at her with a face full of misery. Beads of perspiration popped out on his forehead.
"They seemed to consider me a suspect, Lindsey. They acted as if I might be the man who actually committed the crimes."
Lindsey sank down in the other wooden chair, her heart hammering dully. "What would—" She moistened her lips. "What would make them think you were involved?" Rudy looked away, staring out the window, though he couldn't see anything but a patch of grey, overcast sky. Fall weather had finally arrived. The temperature had dropped, and it looked as if a storm might be coming in.
"I knew her," he said. "The woman who was killed."
Lindsey frowned. "But I thought the woman was a lady of the evening." He looked even more miserable.
"She considered herself an actress. We, met one night at a sort of party at Tom Boggs."
Tom Boggs, the spoiled youngest son of an earl, was trouble, and always had been. Ever since her brother had begun spending time with Tom and his worthless friends, Rudy hadn't been himself. Now he was involved with a prostitute. She was beginning to see a side of her brother she hadn't known existed. But then a young woman wasn't supposed to know about things like prostitution, and a young man was expected to sow his oats in such ways. "Were you involved with her at the time she was murdered?"
"I'd, seen her shortly before it happened."
She was afraid to ask the next question, afraid of what the answer might be. Her brother had been behaving badly for some time. She had worried that sooner or later he would wind up in trouble. "What about the other woman, the one who was murdered 6 months ago? Were you acquainted with her as well?" He nodded, long-faced and eyes downcast.
"I was only just with her the once, but I think it was somewhere around the time she was killed."
"Oh, Rudy!"
"What am I going to do, sis?"
What, indeed? She took a steadying breath, her mind replaying all he had told her, trying to decide on the best course of action. "The first thing we shall do is speak to Father's solicitor, Mr. Marvin. Since he is an attorney, he can advise you as to what you should or should not say to the police."
"I didn't kill those women. I shall simply tell them the truth. I don't see why—"
"I think you do see why, or you would not have come to me for help." He glanced away, cleared his throat.
"I admit to being a little worried. It isn't every day I'm interviewed by the police."
"Which is why we won't take any chances. Make an appointment with Mr. Marvin. Let us see what he has to say." Rudy reluctantly agreed. They spoke a few minutes more, then returned downstairs. As soon as her brother had left the office, Lindsey went in to see Krista. "If you aren't too busy, I could use a bit of advice." "I'm not too busy for you. Come on in." Lindsey sat down in the chair next to Krista's desk, tucking her full skirts neatly around her. Briefly, she told her friend about her brother and that the police had interviewed him as a suspect in the Covent Garden murders. "Good heavens!" "That's what I said. I can hardly believe it. My brother might be a little wild, a bit reckless at times, but he is scarcely the sort to kill someone." "Which the police are sure to discover." "I certainly hope so." She sighed. "I suppose there is little we can do, at least for the moment."